Well, let's talk about the Elite, man. Look at their outfits. I mean, look at the Young Bucks. Really, after wrestling in $10,000 pair of shoes last week, and watching BTE, which is great. I mean, all of them are looking like, almost like a circus acts right here. But it's really great, man. I'm surprised Kenny Omega doesn't have his tight pants and those little pointy shoes on too.
Kenny looks the most normal. Yeah, exactly.
He does, which is surprising,
Yeah.
But we got to see them show up in their trailer and then cut a promo and calling out, Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Oh man, that was.
And they were saying how they were the group of, this is all Elite Wrestling. They were the group that created all AEW. And then when they did eventually call him out and they went looking for him, it was almost just like a setup. But I don't understand that swerve. Like, they heard the horn honking and they hit the trailer, but they weren't in the trailer. So I was I loved the segment just because of Moxley and Kingston are so gold together. Such great chemistry together. Two guys that can actually are just like street thugs that will, throw a freaking pipe through your window. Literally,
yeah,
but
going into a trailer trying to fight like six guys, right? Like, just absolutely, man. I love this. I love that swagger.
I'm thinking, talking through this segment, like, what if they heard the horn honking and they hit the trailer and they weren't there? What was that all about?
They bailed, bro. They
bailed fast enough to run away.
If you think about like the truck hit, so here's the truck, right? Here's the semi. The truck hit over here, right? Their exit was over. The exit was over here. So I feel like they as soon as they got the truck hit, man, they bailed, bro. And let's be real, man. The Elite, they aren't at the top because they're stupid. Don Callis, the invisible hand. Don Callis. He, as soon as this situation started to get dicey, he had his golden child, Kenny Omega, hightail it out of there. If the Good Brothers had to sacrifice themselves, he would have had anybody as far as Kenny getting out of the ring. Kenny's got a big matchup this weekend, so you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to protect Kenny. He's got a big match. So, no, man, I thought this. For all the people who have been criticizing the Bucks and wondering, are they good, are they bad? This was definitely an example. Like, dude, they are all in on being unapologetically themselves again. And not really worrying about being the nice guys. I think, the story now, the more you have time to look at it and digest it, this dates back long before the Good Brothers were even on the scene, dude. I mean, remember when they were feuding with FTR and it felt like 1 week they were getting fined, they would be kicking out, Alex Marvez in the face. And then the next week they'd be the baby faces getting the crowd riled up. So this inner turmoil of the Young Bucks has been now story of their characters to the beginnings of AEW. And now we start to understand why, right? Like now that Kenny Omega has kind of peeled back the curtain and showcased, again, dude, for those of us who can follow Kenny back to his New Japan days, Kenny was not a nice guy then a lot of times either, man. True. Like Kenny's not gotten over by just being the John Cena of New Japan. That was not his thing. So we got to be mindful of that. Kenny has some heel vibes to him already. And for them to peel back that curtain and to kind of tell us, like, there was a lot of confliction going on between their roles. SPD, you've emphasized, I know, back when we go back to our fantasy draft, if you could start a company all over and from scratch, you're always big on who could be the ambassador for my brand, who could represent the brand. And when you have that kind of pressure hanging over yourself, plus being being the one who has to be making financial decisions for the company and having to make sure that you guys are working out contracts and deals and bringing in talent and playing all the roles that the Bucks have had to play, it's understandable, but that they've been pulled in a bunch of different directions. And now that Kenny has kind of got, and Don, let's give Don some credit. He was very excited to see the Young Bucks back, the old Bucks back in action. I don't know, man. I feel like this story is not only compelling from a character motivation standpoint, but when you look at the characters involved, you look at like the elite being recognized as the greatest in the world and all this stuff. And then you got a guy like Eddie Kingston on the other side who has literally scratched and clawed and fought to even get an opportunity to be in AEW.
Right.
You just have the natural heel and babyface vibes. And dude, who's not going to be geeked out to see Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus the Young Bucks? I mean, who would, let's be real. I mean, that matchup right there has me just geeking out about what the potential could be. I mean, and talk about challenging the Young Bucks to move into a different style. I think that the Bucks and the Super Kick Party would get a rude awakening if they have to get into a street fight with Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun.
When if they take it to the street, there's no one beating like I said, the backyard alley thugs of Moxley and Kingston for sure.